ask yourself, can you actually be trusted? Yourself, can you be trusted? What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about this thing called trust. When I was growing up, all I've ever heard is about trust this, trust that, especially when you find yourself in a relationship. People always say trust is important, right? Trust is the magic word. Even sometimes when you question your girlfriend or your partner or somebody, the first thing they're going to say to you is, don't you trust me? No, I don't. Seriously, I don't. Because I'll tell you why trust is not important. Okay? And towards the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you what exactly you should replace trust with when it comes to your relationship. Now, ask me, in the Western world, 80% of relationships end up in divorce. Why don't you ask yourself, why is that? Right? Now, when you have 100 people in a relationship, 80% out of 100 people end up in divorce. Now, you have 20% left. Out of those 20% that is left, 15% are totally unhappy in the relationship. They are living literally miserably. So you only have 5% can basically say, okay, we're happy. 5% out of 100. Now, these are people that once declare everlasting love to each other. These are people that once trust each other heaven and heart. These are people that once call each other, you're my word. I will never disappoint you. But you know what? 80% of them, they end up in divorce. Mostly bitter fights. Now, ask yourself, can you actually be trusted? Yourself, can you be trusted? How many times have you lied this week? Ask yourself that. How many times have you looked at that girl, check her out, and wish she could be your girlfriend? You as a woman, how many times have you looked at that guy, despite the fact you're in a relationship, and you wish, that guy could be my boyfriend, or she could be my man? You as a married person, how many times have you checked that guy or that girl, that woman out, and wish, you could get your way with it? I mean, trust is a myth. Like I said, towards the end of this video, I'm going to be discussing with you what you need to replace trust with in your relationship so that you can have a successful relationship, okay? You can't really trust anybody. But there are things you have to do. There is one thing you need to consider in your relationship. And when you consider this one thing that I'm going to be discussing with you, trust me, you will have a successful relationship. But it has to be agreed by the two parties. The two parties have to understand this clearly, understand the importance of this. Okay? Now, let's get to it. First, when you get yourself when you go into a bank, all right? These are human beings. Bank knows they are dealing with another human beings. They don't really know you. Even if they know you, let's say you go into a bank, you say you want to borrow some money. They're not going to just give you money. They're not going to tell you, I trust you, then they borrow you the money. Now, they will look into your account. How long have you been paying money into the account? How much are you paying into the account? And how consistent are those money coming in? Then a bank can decide and say, you know what, this guy has been paying some money into this account. This person is very consistent. So you know what? Let's borrow them the money. Okay? Or they can either ask you and say, hey, we can't trust you, but we will need you to give us a collateral so that we can give you the money. So when you pay us back, we give you back the money. We give you back your collateral. Now, when a police stop you on the street, they ask you, who are you? You have to give them evidence to provide, to prove to them that this is who you are. But in relationship, we call this mythical thing called trust. As if you can actually go into supermarket and buy a trust and label it on top of your head and say, hey, trust me, I can be trustworthy. When literally in real life, people cannot actually be trusted. You cannot really trust anybody. Trust is hand. Trust is based on your behavior, it's based on your attitude, it's based on your characteristic, it's based on your routine, and it's based on your consistency and time. So people come into a relationship, then you ask the question, they go, why don't you trust me? We're supposed to have trust in this relationship. If we don't have trust in this relationship, it's over. Yes, it's over. Let it be over, I mean, because trust is not the prerequisite for a successful relationship. No, there is. Now, I'm going to be telling you what this thing is. It is called accountability. Accountability. Before you get into a relationship, or if you're already in a relationship right now, you two need to sit down and say, you know what? I am going to be accountable. You don't have to trust me. I don't have to trust you. But my ways, my moves, everything I do, I am signing this contract. I am going to be accountable for it. Which means if the other party can ask me question at any given time. I'm not saying somebody should be crazy and be asking repetitive question, but when you're not clear about a particular thing, you have a right to ask. And the other party need to understand that for the progress of the relationship, they have to accept and take it on board that you're asking me this question and I have to answer it. And if those questions are not answered satisfactorily, evidence can be required. I'm telling you, you can be required to actually provide proof for what you say. So you're not going to tell me you're here at 12 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, I'm still chasing, looking for you. Where are you? And some people will take offense to that. That, oh, he's asking me a question. He doesn't even trust me. No. You said you're going to be somewhere, or you're supposed to be home by 12, but 5, 6, 7, you're not still home. So where are you? Some people will take offense to that and say, nah, you're supposed to trust me. No, I'm not supposed to trust you. You're supposed to be accountable for your move. You're supposed to be accountable for everything you do. And if I'm not satisfied with your answer, I will ask you to give me evidence. If you operate your relationship based on this principle, not this mythical trust thing, if you operate your relationship based on this principle, there will be less messing around. There will be less cheating. Like I said before, 80% of relationships these days are ending up in divorce. These are people that won't profess trust to each other. These are people that once call each other kings and queens. These are people that once said, I will spend the rest of my life with you. These are people that said, I cannot live without you. Where are they today? Separated in divorce, bitter fight. Just because of what? One person fails to take accountability for their actions. So why would you consider trust as the most important thing in your relationship? Accountability should be considered as the first thing. And both parties has to understand that you and I were both responsible for whatever it is that goes on in our relationship. And I can be questioned at any given time. You can be questioned at any given time. If they are not satisfied, if I'm not satisfied with your answer, I can actually ask you to provide evidence. With time, you see, consistency in your attitude, in your behavior, in your routine, it will solidify the relationship. Even the other person will never ever need to ask question. If I've asked you question consistently and you've answered those questions fluently, even if I require evidence, you're there, boom. Trust me, I wouldn't have to ask you many more questions. No. the trust that you seek will now come naturally. So trust in your relationship should not be considered first. What you need to consider is accountability. So guys, if you gain something from this video, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next week.